Well, today's lineup sees definitely a more attacking lineup. I mean, what do you think sparked that change?
I think the booing last week sparked in. I think the XG last week, it's one of the lowest in the Premier League. I was shocked, actually. When 20 minutes to go, I looked at the XG because I thought, they must have had a few shots, but, it's one of the lowest I've seen. So I think he's probably looked at it and thought, you know what, we need to go a bit more open and expansive and we need to appease the fans because they weren't happy.
Yeah. Do you think the players might have had some input in this?
I absolutely do.
Do you?
I do. I think they've...
They've maybe gone to Thomas Frank and said, come on, we fancy we can be more creative at home if we set out a little bit more creative.
Well, I think so. I think what you've got there with Thomas Frank, he's a very open and honest manager. It's all about a continuous learning environment, and the lads will be encouraged to share an opinion. I think they were all frustrated last week. I think they're sick of passing a little bit around in midfield and not really going anywhere. I think I looked at a couple of slides and nobody's really trying to get into the pockets or trying to get into the space, and nobody's there being able to deliver it. So I think today's system and the personnel that he put in there, he's looking to get the ball up there and try to play attacking football and get the goals.
I wonder how much it will benefit someone like Xavi Simons, who's not had a great start to his life at Spurs. I mean, his best performance was against Copenhagen. He seems to be much better playing in Champions League than Premier League at the moment. Are there certain players who are like that, who are just better in Champions League, just can't keep up?
You might be playing against more difficult opponents in the Premier League than the Champions League in this group stage. It's a little bit like sometimes in the World Cup, you're playing against lesser players than you actually face in the league. So I think, it's just going to be such an interesting day today. Where he plays, I'm not really sure. I think he could swap with Richarlison and he can also swap with Colin Muani. So I'm absolutely intrigued how this is going to play out.
Because if you look at his record at Leipzig prior to this, Gary, and you look at his stats this season, it's pretty obvious that he is struggling at the moment. I mean, the eye test will even prove that to you. Is that due to him individually not fitting in with the league, with the pace, with the physicality? Let's not question his technical ability. We know he has that. Or is it also a team thing? Because prior to today, he's playing in front of two very defensive midfielders who are not really passing the ball to him.
Well, I think if you look at the stats, that tells you why Spurs signed him. Now, he comes into the Premier League with great figures from a league that is less competitive. There's no argument about that. I think a lot of coaches will say that players coming to a new country, I think Arsene Wenger said it, can take as long as 2 years to actually settle in, which I think is maybe a little bit extravagant, but it can take time.
I think he's still only 22 as well.
He's a youngster.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it does take time. New environment, new league, new teammates, family situation, new house, somewhere different to live. We are talking about human beings when all's said and done, and not, pure assets that you've paid multi-million pounds for.
And we're talking about the toughest league in world football here. Yeah. This is a really physical league, and it will take him a little while to get up to speed, but once he finds his position, which we'll have a look at today, once he finds that position, he gets comfortable in there, I think we'll see the best of him, because he's a quality player. He's got good technical ability.
Yeah, probably doesn't help that he's also been shifted around a little bit as well to try to get used to things. So time is on Xavi Simons' side at the moment. We'll see how he would do